Hey everybody, JT's Reborn here, and welcome to another edition of After the Movie. I went ahead and saw this past weekend The Disaster Artist, and I'm here to give my thoughts on it. So, The Disaster Artist, based on the making of the cult classic The Room, starring Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero. This movie is an adaptation of that book written by Greg Sestero and Tom Bissell. So, before we really get into my thoughts on the movie, I'll just give my little history on how I came to discover The Room and my experience with the book and actually going to screenings and actually meeting Tommy Wiseau. In fact, that's my, profile picture here on YouTube. There it is. I'll pull it up for you right here. There it is. There's me and Tommy. Oh, man. One of the most unique individuals I've ever had the pleasure of meeting is Tommy Wiseau. And by the way, if you get the chance to, go see The Room in a crowd full of people. It is the most fun you will ever have at the movies. Anyways, so The Room. I first heard about this movie a long time ago it was actually on Yahoo, which, this is back before I switched to Google, because every time I go on Yahoo's pages, I would always get spammed with, messages about, oh, hey, click this article, click that, and I'm like, you know what, I'm done, I'll just go to Google, it's simple, no distractions. So yeah, I clicked on it, I saw the whole, thing on, The Room, and I'm like, oh, this bad movie that everyone was, talking about. I laughed about it, brushed it all off, didn't think about it again for several years later until the Nostalgia Critics review on The Room came out. And I thought that was such a hilarious review, and it gave me insight into the movie. I'm like, I have to see this movie now. And then obviously some more stuff went down with that one. That was the review that got taken down. He had a bunch of issues with that one, and that became his most popular review. It was The Room. So, yeah, and then afterwards I picked up the DVD, and it's kind of funny, the DVD kind of brought together me and a bunch of people. I loaned it out to someone, and Marlon, who you see in the videos, we worked together and we were co-workers and stuff, but we started hanging out because of the movie The Room, and we are just talking about it, and they were like, oh, you did this, and so on and so forth. And yeah, it was thanks to The Room. So The Room is brought together. It brings people together. It's a unique movie. It's the Citizen Kane of bad movies is what it's dubbed. And I'm sure all of you who are watching this video pretty much know about The Room, or if you don't, then it's basically a movie about an affair. And Tommy Wiseau wrote, directed, starred, and produced in this movie. And a lot of it, I shouldn't say a lot of it, most of it doesn't make any sense at all. It has bad acting, but so funny scenes and plot lines that don't make any sense and go nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Just decisions that are just baffling, but it is a fascinating movie to watch. It is extremely entertaining, and it's just, you can't intentionally make a movie like this, and the reason I know that this was an intentional, you can't intentionally make a movie like this bad, because when you try to make something as ridiculous and over the top as it intentionally, it doesn't come across as right. It doesn't feel, it's not quite as funny. You know what I mean? When you're trying to make a bad movie, it's not really funny, because what makes a so bad it's so good movie is, if you tried and you failed, and then you get that type of movie. So, yeah, The Room is the epitome, the cream of the crop of so bad it's good type movies. But, oh, man, it's, especially seeing it with a crowd full of people that chant and scream expletives. I've actually gone to 2 Room screenings, and I'm actually going to go to a third one. But, because it's just so much fun, and you just want to experience it time and time again. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So anyways, let's go on to The Disaster Artist. So, like I said before, this is based on the book that was written by Greg Sestero and Tom Bissell, and it's an amazing read. Because I was such a huge fan of The Room, I picked up the book myself, and I just couldn't put it down. I thought it was great. It just gave some great insight into who kind of Tommy Wiseau is. But the great thing about Tommy Wiseau is, when I met him, he was nice, which, he's obviously different from when he was, doing the filming of The Room, because he was kind of a dick. But, he's so mysterious. Nobody knows who this guy is or where he comes from. I mean, there's a bunch of theories online, but nobody exactly knows what's up with Tommy Wiseau. Where does he get his money? How old is he? Where was he from? He keeps saying New Orleans, but that's clearly not the case. And he lies about his age. He's just a great mystery, but the mystery is what makes him more fascinating. So this movie kind of, it's not a 100% accurate adaptation of the book. There are some things that they changed for sure, but I think if you're a fan of The Room, you're gonna love this movie because they do some of the recreation scenes. There's a great message about, you know, it's kind of an inspiring movie about how these two guys were just kind of like shit on, and they just went ahead and made their own movie. Like Tommy Wiseau is a bizarre individual, but he was fearless. He would go out there and make bold choices. Like, you know what? We're gonna take the world by storm with this movie, and ironically, it did. It didn't go. It wasn't like the drama that he intended, but it was like the quirky black comedy, as they dub it now. It took on a whole new level, and it became this popular cult film. It became this amazing success story with Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero. It's, I'm very happy for them that this movie got made. The Disaster Artist and The Room, obviously, and it's just how everyone reacts to it. And in this movie, it's great. James Franco as Tommy Wiseau. Sorry if I'm kind of scatterbrained here, but James Franco, he really nails Tommy Wiseau. Like, I've met the dude, and he is that bizarre. He's as bizarre as he is in the movie The Room, and James Franco really nailed it. Voice isn't 100% accurate, but like performance-wise, like James Franco, this is his best performance he's ever done. I don't think of any other ones that have come close to this. And his brother Dave Franco is pretty good as Greg. Now I know they're brothers and all, but like they don't really look like it in this movie. Like whatever makeup they did to James Franco to make him look more like Tommy Wiseau, they did a really good job. And he's funny. It's a funny movie. It's the recreation scenes are great. Some of the cast members, like when you have Josh Hutcherson as Denny, well, when he shows up, he has this wig, and as soon as the wig, you see him in this really awful looking wig, I lost my shit laughing so hard. I mean, I was nearly done. And Zac Efron as Chris R. From The Room was hilarious. Dave Franco was good. Seth Rogen's really good in this movie too, as one of the I guess producers or whatever his role was. I can't remember, but like one of the guys who worked on the movie, like Seth Rogen was kind of like the audience, just like, why is he doing that? What's up with these decisions? None of these things make any sense, and it's great. And then like the end of the movie, they have like the comparison scenes where he's like, I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. And I just love this movie. As someone who's a fan of The Room, this is the first time I've actually met someone involved in a biopic, like who the biopic's kind of about, before the biopic happened. This is kind of surreal. It's never happened to me before, because I met Tommy Wiseau twice, like 2 or 3 years ago, and then I met him again. I saw him again like a year later, and then they went out and made this movie, and I'm like, I think because I'm such a huge fan of The Room, and because I'm a fan of like how bizarre and crazy Tommy Wiseau is and stuff, that it really helps to enjoy the experience of this movie. Like, when I went to see this movie, I had like a bunch of friends in that. We were all laughing because we're all big fans of The Room, and it's very fascinating. It's inspiring seeing these two guys, like how they work their ass off to get where they're at, and they have a rather unusual success story. It's great, and they don't shy away from things too. How Tommy Wiseau was a real asshole on the set of The Room, like spying on people, making fun of some of the actors and actresses for some of their blemishes and stuff, and just being kind of like a psychotic director. But at the same time, you also kind of feel sorry for him because he's like in his own little world, and just like he's just so mysterious, and like how is he getting all his money? Like, why does he just sleep in the corner like he does? Like, he has 2 houses. He's like, oh, I never go there. Ha ha ha. I'm like, how does he get all his money? How does he do this? How does he do that? There has to be something going on with this guy. He's just so bizarre. Unless he's pulling in a practical joke, like, there's no way any human being can act like this dude. I don't know what's up with him. Even when I met him, like, the way his fashion sense is, with like all the multiple belts and that he wears, just so bizarre. It's just interesting. You know what I mean? So, anyways, trying to think what else I can say about The Disaster Artist. It's a great film. It's funny, it's inspiring. The cast is all great, and it's one I'm definitely going to be seeing again very soon. Probably after I go see The Room again, like this coming, like next week or two, with a crowd full of people, because goddamn, if you ever get the chance to, experience The Room with a crowd full of people. So yeah, my advice to you is if you haven't seen The Room, please see The Room. You don't necessarily have to see The Room to see this movie, but it does help. And yeah, go see The Room, go see this. Read the book, The Disaster Artist. It's great. Like I said, this movie's not full, like, 100% accurate adaptation of the book. For instance, they omitted some things, like they omitted how in the book there was another actor who played Mark, but Tommy fired him the day of, and he just gave Greg the role. Stuff like, but in this movie, it's just like, I put this role for you, Greg, and we're going to go ahead and film it. So, and Greg was just on board from day one. So they have to, tweak some things here and there to make it flow better as a narrative, but I just feel like they got the core of it right. It was cast very well, and it's a very, very funny movie. It was one I was just eagerly anticipating, and I'm glad I saw it. So go ahead and check out the movie. Judge for yourself. Stay after the credits, because there is like a little after credits scene. And yeah, it was a great movie. Great, terrific performances and all that involved. So yeah, I know I'm kind of scatterbrained here, but that's how these unscripted videos work. So really should have written some, but oh well, it's okay. It's scatterbrained, kind of like how The Room was itself. So I want to thank you all for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of The Disaster Artist. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? I thought it was amazing. I loved it. I'm going to see it again sometime soon. And it's great. I'm just so happy that this movie got made. It was just because I'm a fan of The Room and this was such a fascinating story. I'm just in a good mood. So, yep, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And you know what? Maybe I might do a review of The Room itself sometime soon, because it is a movie worth talking about. I could talk about The Room for hours and just all the weird, bizarre things going on in that movie. So anyways, I'm going to let you all go. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. And I'll talk to y'all later.